All right, perfect. Hi, everyone. Hey, I'm Courtney Watkins, and I'm here with Lisa Barnes today, and she is going to be sharing with us, speak now about the skincare, how to talk about the skincare, the major talking points, but also what makes such a difference with true science skincare against the other natural skincare, the ones that have chemicals. I was in a skincare company for 9 years, and I'd always heard if you don't have chemicals in it, it's not going to work. Same with working in a day spa. We had Obagi, we had Skin Medica, different products like that. And we had been trained that if you don't have those chemicals that stimulate the skin, you're not going to get results. If you want to use clean skincare, if you want to have all natural skincare, that's great, but you're just not going to see results with sunspots, hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, pore minimizing, things like that. So, Lisa, when you talked about the True Science Skincare at Momentum Academy in Nashville, it really took everything I knew out of, just threw it out the window with exfoliation, with different retinols, different things like that, that I have been trained on for skincare. And now I've had different people that were using my previous company's products after a few weeks going, wait, how is this actually working? Where it's a 4-part system and it's not targeted to a specific type of skin. It's for anyone to use. So if you can tell us a little bit more about why are we getting these results and how do we talk about it? How do we advertise it? How do we get other people to see what we see with this?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be glad to. I have a few slides that I can show. If you can let me share my screen real quick or make me a co-host, and then I can walk through it. Because the first thing I do want to start with is what activation is, and just like a quick explanation of activation versus supplementation, because that applies on the skincare side as well. And then we'll walk into each of the products. And so, perfect. Let me share my screen now. You should be seeing it in a second. Are you seeing it, Courtney? Just making
Yes,
sure.
it looks great.
Okay, perfect. Let me move down to my screen over here. Okay. Here, we'll move in here. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with what is activation and why is it better? So what we talk about always with activation, because it is our big differentiator as a company, is LifeVantage. We are the activation company, and we talk about how our body knows how to be healthy. You think of kids' bodies. I think of my teenagers that I have, my 13-year-olds. They are strong, they are powerful, their skin looks amazing. Like they have everything that they need to be healthy. Everything is working in perfect harmony and in perfect balance. And they seem to be able to go all day because they just have everything that they need. But as we age, our bodies get out of balance. The functionality gets out of balance, and that can be age, it can be stress. And so a lot of things can either deplete or increase. So some of the things that deplete are your body's natural antioxidants, collagen, hyaluronic acid, things that actually will sound very familiar to you with skincare. And other things will increase like irritation, inflammation, etc. And so you just get out of balance. And so there is the approach of supplementation. And you can think of supplementation both in like something you take and also something you put on your skin. It's seeing that there are deficiencies, trying to replace what's lost. So you're missing collagen, here's a cream with collagen. Or you're low on hyaluronic acid, we'll give you some hyaluronic acid, or on the supplement side, antioxidants, etc. But the problem with that is it's a short-term band-aid fix. You can think of it kind of like you have a car and the engine's leaking oil. And you can continuously top off the oil and not do anything about the root problem, but you're going to be continuously topping it off with oil, and everything's just going to be running through you and not really benefit. It's just kind of that band-aid fix to kind of keep you moving, but it's not going to be a long-term solution. So you can do anything while you drive other than just continuously put oil into your car. And supplementation is like that. And so, and a lot of times, topically, a supplementation approach doesn't get you the ingredients in a form that your body can even use. So if you think of a cream that has collagen in it, collagen is a large protein and it will just sit on top of your skin. Or there's lots of different ingredients that can sound good on paper, But if they're not in a form that your body can absorb, you're not even going to have supplementation benefits from it. It's just going to sit on top of your skin. But then there's the approach of activation, and it's going to the source. So you're seeing what's deficient and what's causing it to be deficient, what's slowing down or speeding up. And then it works alongside with your body to bring it back into balance. So think of creating your body's own collagen or creating its own antioxidants or its own hyaluronic acid. It's a long-term solution. And so it's like with that oil leak example, instead of just continuously pouring oil into a leaky engine, it's fixing that engine so it's no longer leaking, and you're getting everything you can from the oil you do put into your car engine. It's helping your body make what it needs for health. And that's such a different way of approaching things, because if you work along with your body's natural processes, you're going to get the most efficacy. You're stimulating what your body already has instead of just giving it something short term. And so it's through that lens that we approached our skincare products. We'd had skincare for about 13, 14 years, and we had introduced some of our ingestible ingredients onto the skincare that stimulate NRF2, which is essentially creates your body's own antioxidants to help it fight oxidative stress. But it was time in the last year for us to really expand upon that activation approach and go to the root of more problems and issues that you deal with in your skin to get even more efficacy. And so that kind of gives you why, like how we are different approaching skincare is we're approaching it through this activation lens. We're not looking at what is my skin deficient in that I can just slap on top of it. It's saying, what is slowed down in my skin that I can help bring back into balance so my body can be running its most optimally. My body can be running, my skin can be exactly like it was made to be. And so going into our products is starting with this True Clean. The purpose of this is to clean and refine the skin. It's all about exfoliation to remove impurities, dead skin cells, and cleansing of pores. But what's really interesting about exfoliation is it's so much more than that. I mean, it allows for, if you remove that dead skin cells, it allows for better absorption of activating ingredients. So it's the perfect first step for your routine. It also allows, it does unclog your pores, which is important. But the third thing is actually the most interesting to me, is that if you remove those superficial layers of epidermal cells, you're actually helping the epidermal cells perform their basic functions like producing hyaluronic acid or helping to activate collagen, because they're able to function the way they're supposed to just through simple exfoliation, and that's going to lead to that hydrated, more firm skin. Now, kind of what Courtney was mentioning earlier, there's a lot of really harsh ingredients that you can use in your skincare. On the side of cleanser, and especially an exfoliating cleanser, you can go with physical beads or you can go with acids, and they can be really, really effective, but they're really working against your skin's natural processes. They are with beads or with shells or husks, you can be creating microcuts in your skin. With harsh acids, you can be essentially damaging your skin as you're trying to exfoliate it. A lot of people get a lot of irritation with it. But we use, and I'll talk about it a little bit more on this next slide, we use gentle pomegranate enzymes that help to gently exfoliate the dead skin cells by activating it at the source. And then when we combine it with the prebiotic saccharide, it's alpha glucan oligosaccharide with some soothing ingredients, bisabolol and ginger root, and then our NRF2 activators, that helps you get to the source of antioxidants. We create this product that's perfect for sensitive skin, along with every other skin type. It's developed for all skin types. It's getting to the source of exfoliation and helping to kickstart a lot of these processes and also preparing you for additional activating ingredients. So as you talk about any of these products, the difference is always going to be activation. It's always going to be seeing what the problem is, going to the source of the problem, and helping your body or helping your skin be able to improve that process and get back to normal, back into balance, so your skin can be healthy, because your skin is your largest organ and you need to treat it like an organ and you need to care about its health, because healthy skin will be beautiful skin. And so by focusing on skin health, which is another differentiator for our line, that's how we ultimately get beautiful skin, by working with our skin's natural processes. So a few things to remember with this one. It's going to help you prep. It's a 2-in-1 because you're going to get that cleansing and exfoliation. And then because it is gentle, because it has hydrating ingredients, it has a prebiotic in there, it's not going to strip your skin's natural oil. So it's working once again with your skin's natural processes. So you're getting all the benefits without the negatives. And so that's step number 1. And then we move into True Renew Daily Firming Complex, which is kind of our hero of this skincare line. It's been clinically shown to tackle 11 visible signs of aging. We did a third-party clinical with a really well-known dermatologist that I've worked with throughout my entire career. She has tested so many products for me. And one of the things that stood out to me from the clinical for this product was that as she wrote her report, and she's usually pretty tough, she wrote, "This product does everything and more that you wanted it to." And I was like, that's high praise coming from someone who's tested everything under the sun and is not impressed by anything. She's like, "This product fits the bill. It does every claim you wanted it to do. It exceeds that, and you have something on your hands." And so it's these 11 visible signs of aging. Now, where this works, because you got to think back to that activation approach, because our True Clean activated through exfoliation and helping the cells work better. This helps to, the True Renew helps to activate key proteins involved in epidermal barrier function and renewal, enzymes that take the collagen that your body does produce and cross-link it so it works more efficiently. So you can think of like a foundation. If your foundation is crooked, if it's not built properly and everything's not lined up the way it should, it's not going to be as steady and as firm and even a floor as you would hope for, because the foundation is not solid. And so essentially this helps ensure that you have a solid foundation of your skin, which will help improve firmness and lines and wrinkles because you are having that proper matrix under the skin. And it also has ingredients in there that help stimulate your body's own natural hyaluronic acid as well, and other hydrating, natural moisturizing factor within your skin. So you're not just applying hydrating ingredients that are going to be that short-term fix. You're actually going to the source to help your skin be able to create its own moisture, create its own proteins, and cross-link them properly to have that structure that you need to have healthy skin and healthy skin barrier. Now, some of the key ingredients in this one: cranberry biopeptides. This gives retinol-like benefits, and Courtney mentioned retinol earlier. It's one of those gold standards of skincare. The problem with it is it works really well. It works really fast, but it only works for some people because only some people can tolerate it. People with sensitive skin like mine, I can't use it. It damages my skin. It is painful. I have tried it and will never try it again. So I had kind of pushed it aside and said, I'll never get these benefits, anything like this, because I can't tolerate it. And so a lot of people will say, well, you just need to ease into it. You just need to keep going with it. And retinols are just really working against a lot of the natural processes of your skin. But what I love about the cranberry biopeptides is they are going to the source, working with your skin's natural processes to give you those retinol-like effects, like skin renewal, helping with lines and wrinkles, skin firmness, without the irritation, without the dryness, without the peeling, without the ramp up time. You get the benefits. And actually head-on-head studies of these cranberry biopeptides versus retinol have shown that the cranberry biopeptides had more benefits faster without the side effects. So it's really a no-brainer that you should use something that is more natural, more compatible with your skin, and get the results you're looking for without even trying retinol and having to deal with all those side effects. We also combine it with Shrubby Everlasting, which helps to visibly firm, lift, and rejuvenate. It's what helps activate the enzymes that help cross-link collagen. Wild Pansy helps with activating some of those natural moisturizing factors within the skin. So you have that hydrated skin from within. And then once again, the Nerve 2 blend, that is the hallmark of our line. Now, here's a couple things to remember. real results. It's a cleaner, as Courtney mentioned earlier, all of our ingredients. We have a very firm no list of ingredients we will not use, and all of these are compliant with it. We send it to everyone that works on any of our products, and we will not accept anything that's on it. The goal with these cleaner formulas is that there's transparency. You know exactly what's in the formulas and what will never be in our formulas, so you can make informed decisions. Because in my mind, that's the most important, that you have all the information at your fingertips to be able to make smart decisions about your own health, including your skin health. And like I said, it's clinically proven to tackle those 11 visible signs of aging. It's a better than retinol alternative. You get none of those harsh side effects. And then rapid lasting renewal. So you're going to feel it day one. And then as little 3 weeks, you're going to see some fantastic results. Actually, in the clinical we had, the third-party clinical, we saw some fantastic jaw sculpting results, which I've never seen a product be able to do what this product did in just 3 weeks and then continuing on at 6 weeks. We also saw the marionette lines that you see right here that can form. Like there was one subject who had such deep marionette lines, and the transformation of her over 6 weeks was more than I can describe in words. And so I think as we talk about how to talk about these skincare, activation is your difference, caring about skin health, which leads to skin beauty. And then the before and afters on these products are fantastic. So a picture speaks even louder than words. So those are the 3 tools that I would remember as you are talking about all of these products. True Lift, that's specifically for the eyes. It's the dark circles, because your eye area, it's thin, it's fragile. There's a lot going on with it. And there's a lot that we can activate under there. We can activate collagen under the eyes to help thicken the skin so you cannot see the dark circles as much. We can also help break down fat under the eyes that help with under eye puffiness and bags. And so there's a lot we can do to activate right at the source to help with eye health and the look around the eyes with a combination of quinoa seed, chlorella vulgaris, and the Nerve 2 blend going right to the source there. And a few things to remember with this formula is that it tackles all around the eye, which makes it unique. You can feel it working. So it has that cooling, and it also has a unique experience with the metal tip. And then you get lifted eyelids in only 1 month. And we actually have a really good picture from our in-house study, which I can show you in a few minutes, where you can just see this lady's eye shape changed using the product in just a short amount of time. And then the final product is the True Hydrate product. 7 days to brighter skin. It actually tackles hyperpigmentation in 3 ways. It breaks and disperses melanin through activation of a key enzyme. It blocks production of excess melanin, so it's going to keep there from being new hyperpigmentation. So you're going to help with the current hyperpigmentation and then future hyperpigmentation. And then it helps to improve the environment for the melanin producing cells so that they're kind of calmed down, because melanin is their defense. So when they're too stressed out, they're going to produce melanin, you're going to get hyperpigmentation, but it actually calms their environment. So it's like giving them a big hug and saying, you're okay, you don't need to produce any more melanin. And so you're helping to prevent the future hyperpigmentation. And all of that leads to these 7 days to brighter skin and the reduction of age spots and prevention of the emergence of future age spots. The ingredients that combine to do that are the rainbow algae, which is helping to reduce the appearance of existing dark spots. Vitamin C also helps to combat the emergence of future dark spots. And then the plantain is the one helping the environment of the melanin producing cells. So they're a triple threat of activation to give the results that we have been seeing in just 7 days, then combined once again with the Nerve 2 there. And so this is a brightener and a moisturizer, deeply nourishing, and results that just keep on getting better. So I think what you can see with all these products is each of them have their specific purpose. So we don't have a bunch of overlapping products that try to do it all and don't do anything well at all. They each have their specific purpose so that when you use the system, all of your key skin health needs are taken care of. They use powerful activating ingredients used at clinically tested dosages that work synergistically together to give phenomenal results. And then we use a combination of natural and synthetic ingredients that match our clean list, nothing that's on our no list, that are safe and efficacious, and that we always thoroughly vet each and every ingredient to ensure that it's compatible with skin, including all skin types. So that's what allows us not to have 6 different lines for different skin types. It's allowing this line to cross over to all skin types so that it's appropriate for use for all of them. And so really quick, I know we only have till 6:30, right, Courtney, you were saying?
Let me unmute. We can go a little over. We're fine.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that
You're doing great. I'm learning so much. I'm already going, okay, I'm going to go back and rewatch this.
Okay. Perfect. Then I'm going to quickly cover some of the in-house results because we've published this, but we've never really looked through it. So I'm going to just talk you through it real quick so you can kind of see what we saw. So here's the in-house study. So we had 27 different individuals, male and female, over 30. And we had 4 steps. They used all 4 products, and then they could use a sunscreen. This is before we had finalized our True Protect formula. And so we didn't have that for them to use at that time. But now we would suggest that you use the wonderful True Protect sunscreen, which adds on to this amazing system. Then we had them grade different attributes. And so this is softness, hydration, firmness, lift, and tightness. You can see through their self-assessment scores that everything significantly improved over the course of the 8-week study. Honestly, even within 15 minutes, scores were bumping up for things like lift, where you're like, wait, how would I like that? Those are some quick results for what would be structural changes to the skin. And it's just showing the experience with the products and how they're seeing them work and how it's giving them confidence, even if while all of the changes are happening within their skin that take a little bit longer to occur. And so this is some of the attributes. We also, and here's some pictures with it. So here's one with quite a deep line. And then over a month, we can see that crease within her cheek really becomes much less in depth and visibly reduced. And then this is actually one of the guys on my R&D team who does not use skincare until he used this. And what we noticed on his head was he had quite a bit of, I've been causing him lots of stress with the new product launches. So I had some lines and wrinkles forming. And within 6 weeks, it smoothed it completely out. And he was amazed when he saw the photos, giving him the new lease on life. It's like I never stressed him out at all. Then we went into some additional, we have radiance, smoothness, overall complexion, skin tone, and brightness. So some of those attributes that we focus on with the True Hydrate. And what was interesting to me is it could be really hard to see brightness and skin tone this quickly. Anything with pigmentation, like you were saying, Courtney, a lot of harsh ingredients have been used in brightening products, kojic acid, hydroquinone, ingredients that bleach your skin. The opposite of what we're trying to do. It's working against your body's natural processes, your skin's natural processes, and harming them. But through these natural processes, we're seeing incredibly efficacious results that you can notice. Here's one of our subjects, and you can kind of see some of the brightening of her complexion over time, a little less yellowing that she naturally had, and just like a really enhancement of what she had, her natural skin tone. And then here we have a dark spot. And you can also see the skin tone that lightened over time, but the dark spot got smaller in comparison to the baseline. But some of my favorite results actually are these next ones around eyes, because I have genetic dark circles under my eyes. I had twins. So I looked like I was dead for many years because I just looked like I was permanently exhausted. And so I'm always looking for something that can make me look awake and not like I'm need to sleep for 48 hours. And so we saw within actually 15 minutes, we saw improvements in dark circles for folks, which was crazy, along with bags under eyes and tired looking eyes. And then once again, that increased over the 8-week study. Looking at some of the photos, this is the one I mentioned earlier. So right here, we see bags under her eyes. We see that they completely deflate and reduced. Her dark circle area has gotten smaller, and also we just see a general brightening of her skin. But this individual same eye position, because we standardized all of our photos with the help of our media team. They had the same setup. You could see that she just kind of had some sagging of her eyelid that just had developed. And as she used the products at 4 weeks, you can see how much more of her eyelids you can see because of that lifting. And it's changed the shape of her eye. Her eyes look bigger. She looks more awake and more alert just through using the combination of these products over 1 month, which is incredible, which completely aligns with some of what we were seeing from the ingredients, where we were saying 1 month to more lifted eyelids. Here's a picture that proves it. And then we went into like, okay, like who agrees that this specific product experience, like the skin around my eyes look firmer or more lifted, etc. And what I loved is that by week 8, we had almost 100% approval. Like everyone agreed that they had improvement in these parameters at 8 weeks, which in the world of these kind of studies, if you're over 70%, you're feeling pretty good. That's when you start showing data. If it's under 70%, you're like, oh, okay, it's not quite statistically significant. Yeah, we have a really good trend, but I want to get it over 70%. And what we saw is we crossed that threshold for a lot of them really soon. And then by week 8, almost everyone had agreed to that. And so we have the same with radiance. The only one that is a little bit lower is age spots, just because age spots are harder to get rid of. And also not everyone had age spots, so that artificially lowered the number a little bit, but everything else is in the 90s or up to 100%. And then continuing on, cleansing and a lot of the hydration and plumpness claims as well. Everything looking great, really high agreement. Because what's important to us is not only is the science sound, not only are we picking great ingredients that we know will work, but we need that demonstrability, and we need people to be able to know and see and feel it working. So I am glad that not only the science checked out, but we also have this agreement from consumers using the products over the course of time and agreeing that they are seeing these benefits. And so what this shows is that as folks try these products, their experience will continue to get even better, but they will experience results from the beginning, and that'll help keep longevity. So and I think this was the last one I have. Let me just double check. Yeah. So the top things to remember from this for me are activation is always going to be our differentiator. It's the lens that we look at for any of our products, including skincare. We're always going to pick ingredients that aren't just going to be supplements. We're not going to just give your skin hyaluronic acid. And not saying that those are even bad ingredients. But when you activate your body's own hydration systems, its own structural proteins, you're going to see much faster results and much longer, more long-term results than something you're having to just supplement on top. So the activation approach is one of those key differentiators. The ingredients that we're using that are clean, that are used at efficacious doses and thoroughly tested, and everything's vetted through our quality department is another one. And so just remember that these are some of the things that are setting us apart from the competition. They're going to see results, they're going to know the ingredients are good, and they'll know that this approach is so different that it will give them the results they're looking for.
I love that. Oh my gosh, the slides are so amazing and the way that you break it down. One of the things I was thinking as I'm seeing the nerve 2 in a key ingredient in each one is I'm seeing other skincares come through my feed that helps to reduce inflammation. So their big word for that is inflammation. I think around here, we toss around the word oxidative stress a lot. But inflammation is such a key thing, which in my mind, tell me if this is right, is why you can use one synergistic collection for all different types of skin problems or issues or concerns. If it's acne, if it's wrinkles, if it's sunspots, we're all using the same line, which in my mind, day spas everywhere I've looked, there's categories
Oh,
that
there's
we're
always
using.
so many lines everywhere I've
Yes.
ever worked.
So that's one of the things that for a lot of us are going, how is this supposed to work for everyone? And I think that inflammation is one of the big key things is getting that system set up. Another thing that I wanted to ask is one of my friends said with the eye cream, she felt like she was getting little white, like melanina bumps. Is that what you would call it with the eye cream? Is there a way to prevent that? Is there a reason? Is it application?
So, going to the first question, going to stress. So most signs of aging or troubles with the skin do come from stress. A lot of times it's external stress. It's UV, it's pollution, it's all of these outside factors that are causing results or impact on our skin that we can just see with our eyes. Honestly, 90% of those aging signs come from what we call extrinsic factors of aging. So like, and then the rest, like the 10% can come from hormones, and it can come from genetics, etc. But it shows what importance there is of creating your body's own natural antioxidants, which is what Nerve 2 does. And you'll see a lot of antioxidants in skincare, but the most powerful antioxidants that there can be are the ones that you create in your own body or your own skin. And that's what makes Nerve 2 so powerful, and what makes Nerve 2 allow the skincare to be appropriate for all skin types. And then kind of going to the white bumps, everyone's skin is very different. And so the skincare works for the majority of people. There are always going to be some people that do have some sensitivities to ingredients. And so what I always suggest is pull back a little bit, maybe use some of the other products, work on the foundation of under the eyes with some of the other products, because there just may be some sensitivities there at this point, maybe a compromised barrier. So if we build that up a little bit, maybe potentially using True Renew and working on some of that renewal and working on the barrier cohesion, then you kind of let that heal a little bit, get strengthened up, and then you can follow up with the eye product when it's strengthened and use that. So it'd be more that your skin's a little bit more reactive at this time because there's some compromised skin occurring. So I would work on addressing that first and then go from that. Oh, and I see someone saw opposites of that. So once again, it's the individual skin care needs. And so what you have to do is have some flexibility in how you use the system and be okay with experimenting a little bit and adding a little bit more, adding a little bit less, depending on how your skin is responding.
Love that. All right. And Lisa had another question. Is there a place to see how they applied the products with the office study?
Yeah, so I think it would have been according to the directions that you would see on the packaging itself, or that's on our website.
Yeah.
The study write-up itself, which does go through those step-by-step instructions, there's a full white paper on it. If you go to our website and then look at the collection of the 4 products, scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a link to the study, and it will have all the details on how they applied it, the order they applied it, and all the individual percentages that I referenced when I was kind of quickly walking through it. Literally all those images were from that white paper, and you can read it and absorb it on your own too.
Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have any other questions that they want to ask while Lisa's on? Okay, perfect. The amount of each and the placement of the eye cream. So
yes. And so typically with skincare and with these products, a little goes a long way. We'll usually go a little bit like maybe a pea amount at the most, and then a lot of upward strokes. With the eye, I tend to put out a little pea amount under each eye, and then you use the applicator to kind of go around. You want to make sure you're getting 360 because of the benefits that you have, and make sure you get your eyelid as well. Do avoid getting in your eye, though. We have ophthalmologists testing on the cream itself, so it's safe, but I would just always avoid just so you don't have anything in your eye, to be honest. But yeah, we just use that metal applicator and massage around and get that additional stimulation of the skin. And then the order of products that you're going to be using, you want to do your True Clean as your step 1 to exfoliate. You're going to then move into your treatment product, which is your True Renew. Then you'll do your true lift around your eye, and you'll end with your true hydrate, because that'll kind of seal in all of the moisture you've already added and give you that protective layer. And then if you do follow with the True Protect, that will be always your very last step, because you want a nice kind of intact barrier to protect you from the sun when you go out. Yeah, and that was one that I didn't talk about, but what is really cool about that product is that it not only protects you from the sun, it helps to reverse damage from the past. And it's once again through an activation mechanism. It works through the Nerve-2 pathway. It's a specific ginger that we chose because it's in that stick form, because you have to heat up the ingredients in a stick to be able to make the stick form. And so normal Nerve-2 ingredients would die in that kind of heat. And so we don't put ingredients in the formula just to put them in there. So we picked a particular ginger extract that is really resilient to heat, but still works through the Nerve-2 pathway, so that we can still have that activation and protection from UV, protection from pollution and other external aggressors in the stick form that's really convenient.
Wow. I love that. I had mine here. The SPF's been one of our favorites. My kids can use it. I can put it on easily. I absolutely love the application of that. It's so smart.
Oh yeah. We just went camping last weekend, and like I had given one to my friend, and she like pulled it out of her bag, and she's like, I'm babying this because I want to keep using. I never want to run out. And I was like, oh, you got me. I'll keep you supplied. But she's like, it's my favorite. She's like, I always use the crappy one for the rest of my face, but she's like, or for the rest of my skin. But she's like, for my face, I use this because this is like the premium experience.
Oh yeah, totally. I used it on my daughter at her birthday party at the water park. And then later her friends said, hey, Courtney, do you have an did you have a sunscreen for our face? I was like, yeah, they all wanted to use the applicator. And I'm like, go for it.
Yeah. I see another question. Let's see. Small hard bumps on my skin with the SPF, keep using to adjust. I would do very similar to what I was talking about earlier, where I would like keep repairing with some of the other products and then slowly introduce it, use it on small areas and then expand. Sometimes introducing your skin to something slowly instead of all at once just helps it not freak out, because sometimes it is a very sensitive organ and decides to freak out. But if you gently introduce it to something, it behaves much better. So I would back off a little bit and then slowly add it back in.
I found that I was using too much of the True Hydrate too. A little bit really does go a long
For
way
all of
with
them, yes.
Yes. And I was used to, with a cream form, using more product. So I've had to like cut back on that one too. And it's crazy that less is more in this.
Correct. Because when you do a supplementation mindset, everything you're adding to the skin needs to like be absorbed. You add a ton onto the skin, hoping some of it gets absorbed. But when you pick ingredients in the right format that the skin can actually absorb, that are bioavailable, that are in a vehicle or a serum that can go in really easily, then you can optimize the amount you use, because you know that it'll be absorbed to be able to be used. So it's just part of smart formulation to make sure that it, from the cream that it's in or the lotion it's in, to the form of the ingredients they're in, to how they're applied, to the order they're applied, that you get the most benefit from the products without having to just slather a ton on and most of it just either sloughs off or rubs off on a pillow. You want it to be absorbed in the skin where it can be used and you're not wasting your money.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I don't know how you found all of these things, the French rainbow algae, the ginger.
I'm a humongous ingredient nerd. So I started my career on the bench formulating, making the creams and lotions. Like it's like cooking. And so I've always been an ingredient nerd. And as I've moved up in my career, I still am an ingredient nerd. Even if other people are mixing it for me, I'm the one picking the active ingredients, and I'm always researching what's out there, what's trending. But I've expanded my knowledge on it, because before I used to just look at efficacy, but now you look at efficacy, you look at sourcing, because you want to look at sustainability. Because what I love about that rainbow algae is that it's made in an EcoCert certified facility, which means that it's sustainable. They're using as minimal amounts of water. They're trying to be carbon neutral and energy neutral. And so they're trying to look at their footprint for the environment. And so it's so much more than just an ingredient that works on your skin. You want to make sure that it's good for the environment as well. So there's so many other things to
Wow.
consider as well. It makes it like a treasure hunt to find the right combination of ingredients that check all of the boxes
Yeah.
and work through the activation mechanisms that we're looking for. Because you have to have extensive testing on the ingredients to make sure you know how they work. Because I don't want to use it if I don't know how it works. I
Oh,
want to know what
absolutely.
genes it's influencing, make sure that it will do exactly what it needs to do, and not just put it on there and kind of cross my fingers and hope it works.
Well, I love that. I'm so grateful for you doing this call. I mean, seriously, thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
for getting on and educating us. This was so worthwhile. I will go back and research this. Being in the skin industry for such a long time, it's so interesting to me. Um, and really sharing it. I love seeing everybody's results with it. It's been really fun to see.
Yes, no, it's super fun. We're so busy right now in the midst of working on some new things that are coming really soon that it's kind of fun to jump on and talk about and remember what we've just finished and how big an accomplishment that was and how amazing these products are. Because it's so easy to get lost in what's to come. And
Yes,
so I love it.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Everyone, thank you for making time for this. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording right now. All right.